I'm going to attempt to show how to sew these medallions together. I did this one actually just holding them right sides together and whipping them with a whip stitch, but on this one I'm going to attempt to do it with them laying flat. And since I left my long tails in the back, it's easier for me to tell what's the right sides. I can trim all those off later, but I like to leave them as long as possible. That way I'm not having to study the stitches to see which side is the what we consider the right side. So I'm going by the simple lace medallion in the book that you can download for free. It's Techniques in Teneriffe Lace, and she kind of gives you a map on how to line up these medallions. And on mine it's 36 loops or scallops around the edge. So you're going to start with the first medallion, and then you're going to join with 3 little scallops, and then you have to travel over to get to where the next ones join. And so to do that, we're going to be looping around the bars that go between the scallops so that we can travel from one place to the other. So she shows joining the medallions 2 and 3, and then you work your way back to the center, and then you travel back here, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to try to show you that. And I have kind of messed with this a little bit, so I think it might be easier laying them flat. So you just kind of get it situated, and I'm using a one of the little pin cushions I made, and I put some pins in the center one to anchor it, and I sunk those pins all the way down so they don't get caught on my thread. So let me get my little pin pusher. All right, so I'm going to anchor this one after I get going. So first thing I want to do is I'm using the same color thread that I used to stitch the lace to begin with. So I just need to get a little starting knot going. So I'm just going to go around one of these bars. Hopefully with this dark color you'll be able to see it. But I don't plan on making another one of these, not just like this, so I thought it was a good opportunity for me to videotape it while I was doing it. So hopefully, again, this color is not going to be too hard to see. If it is, I'll just have to make another one. So I'm just going to do a little simple knot like that. And so you're lining up 3 scallops. And so I'm just going to be doing a whip stitch, or what she calls is over sewing. So I'm just grabbing a pair of those. And my thread might be a little bit too long. You don't need much because you're just basically whipping around and around. So I'm going to go ahead and anchor as I need to each medallion, just to keep it from wiggling. And your pad needs to be obviously a little bigger, but really all I need is something big enough for the center. So I'm just using the same pin cushion that I have made, but you could use a piece of foam or something. So that's 2. And then 3. Check my battery on my camera. I think I have enough. Okay, so what I need to do according to the map is I just sewed 1 and 2 together. So I need to work back 6 scallops, a distance of 6 scallops. So I need to travel across those bars so that I can add the next motif, or however you say that. So this is the scallop I just joined to, so I'm going to go these 3 scallops, actually 6, because I need to travel a little bit farther. So I'm just grabbing the bar in between the scallops, and you don't want to pull these stitches too tight to distort your lace. but you don't want them loopy either. So that's 2. I might cut off some of this thread because it's awfully long. Sorry about that. I have my camera really close because I needed this up close to my face. When I was sitting in my recliner, I was holding this pin cushion up, but it's easier to videotape with it laying flat like this. So you could actually pick up this pin cushion and just hold it. So I've gone 3, 4, and I'm only going to show a couple of these because it's going to get quite lengthy. 5 and 6, and I'm already finding this a lot easier than picking these up and holding them face to face, because you know you have to lay it down again to line them up. So I traveled 6 scallops over, and now I need to join to 3 of the scallops here. So I'm going to take that last scallop that I just went through the bar, and then I'm going to sew 3 of these pairs together. This color is very hard to work with. I'll probably never make another one in this color. It's a really dark gray, and it's just as painful for me as it is for the black. And I'm not sure how much my fingers are getting in the way. Alright, so I've sewed 3 scallops to medallion number 2 and number 3. And so now I need to sew this one to the center. So we're always working our way back to the center. So I'm going to travel 3 scallops to get back to the center. I really hope you're seeing where I'm sticking my needle. Right in that bar right there. So that's 3. I've traveled over 3. I'm going to snug that up a little bit. And I need to skip 3 that's going to be hanging out here in the middle, and then sew the 4th ones together of each one. So they're each going to have 3 just kind of hanging out there in the middle. So now is where I would turn my little pin cushion to where I can sew that's comfortable for me. Let's see if I can do that. And just do a couple more. You don't want to pass your thread through a loop. You don't want to make a knot. You want to keep this thread free. So that's my, oops, skipped one. So I think you probably get the idea how this is going to go. So I've joined it to the center. So this is 1, 2, and 3, and so now I need to join number 4. So when I'm adding a new medallion, I'm going to travel over 6 and then sew back 3 and then skip 3, or when I say skip, we're going to travel 3. So when you travel, you're going around just the little bars. So I'm going to sew through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bars, and then on that same scallop I'm going to join 1, 2, and 3, and then I'm going to travel across 3 bars, skip 3 scallops here, and join the 4th, 5th, and 6th, and so on. So hopefully that is a decent explanation on how to join these motifs together laying them flat rather than holding them up in your hand.